selector.
Hello, today I want to talk about apples and other small fruit of mine. This is a Jonathan. It's on G30 semi-dwarf fruit stock. They get about 15 foot tall at maturity if you let it, or you can prune it, keep it any size you want. It's this tall when I got it last year. It grew all the way to the pole, about 4 foot. I took a third of the leader off, which is about right here. And it's grown about 18 inches already this year. A couple weeks ago, I pinched the terminal buds out of these upper branches, slow this tree down, get that nice Christmas tree shape. It makes it set up fruit buds for next year. You can see with these clothespins, I'm training these branches, get a nice 90-degree angle. Again, slows the tree down, less vegetative growth. Also makes for a stronger branch when you're cropping apples out in the edge of the limbs. It can take a lot more load. This tree did bloom this year, which I was quite surprised and happy with. And it has set up a lot of fruit buds for next year, so hopefully I get a nice crop of apples next year. Of course, I took all the blooms off. You don't really want to crop in the second year. Of course, you could let it 5-10 apples, not much. But I want to put all its energy and growth, get some nice branches, so I can have bigger crops in the coming year. So that's a Jonathan. It's on G30 semi-dwarf rootstock. This is a Honeycrisp. It's on G11 fully dwarfing rootstock. It's in its second leaf. It was planted bare root last spring. Not a whole lot of vigor. It didn't put on a whole lot of growth last year, about 6 inches. This year it's put on about 1 foot. Only get about 8 foot tall at maturity. I did get a fire blight strike just recently. I took these 4 limbs off here. Looks like that's it, I hope. Probably due to all this warm, wet weather we're having. Did not flower this year. I was quite surprised. It's supposed to be pretty precocious rootstock, but it does look like it's set up a lot of nice fruit buds, so hopefully I'll get some nice apples next year. So that's a Honeycrisp on G11 dwarf rootstock. This is what you get if you don't spray here in the Midwest and probably many parts of the country. You get a whole bunch of nothing. This is plum curculio, and it will take 100% of your crop, and it'll leave you a small shrivel up fruit if you do get any with a worm in it. And this is an early blaze. There's another one. Look at all those strikes. This is early blaze. I don't really quite care for it. This tree is pretty much dying. I just use it as a pollinator for my couple Macintoshes that I take care of. But if you don't spray, you don't get much of a crop here. It's one of the large Macintoshes I take care of. This tree's about 30-35 foot tall. I don't really do too much pruning on it. I'm just kind of letting it go. Last year it did drop all of its apples, so if it does that again this year, then I'm going to prune it at ground level and just plant new ones. But it's got some decent sized fruit on it. Pretty clean. I did spray this tree. I finally controlled the scab on it. Last year was a pretty scabby year. About the size of a golf ball this year, right now. So that's one of 2 that I take care of. It's another monster Macintosh I take care of. This is a buddy of mine, but I spray it and we split the crop. Just put a huge crop on last year. It came back and put another big crop. They all look nice. This one did not drop its apples. This is a very old tree, probably planted in the 50s, we think. But the apples are really good on it, and it crops heavily every year. So I'm quite happy with this tree. This is Gold Rush. This is on M9 fully dwarf rootstock. Gold Rush might be tough to crop here in Zone 5. That's a late October, early November apple. Probably better suited for the south, but decided to give it a whirl. It did bloom this year, which I was quite surprised. Of course, I cut that off, and I won't let it crop until the 3rd leaf. But this is Gold Rush on M9. This is a snow sweet on bud 9, fully dwarfed rootstock. I just planted this in May of this year, and it's grown away quite well. This is a white gold sweet cherry. It's on Gisela 6 rootstock, and it was planted bare root last year. It was just a whip, and you can see it grew away quite well. It did have a few blooms on it this year. Of course, I took those off. So maybe, just maybe, I'll get something next year. Although I got a feeling it's going to be pretty tough to crop here. Not many people around here have good luck with sweet cherries. Tart cherry would have been better, and that's probably what I'll do next year. Is plant a few tart cherries. Some of my blueberries. See, they're starting to. I guess they're starting to ripen a little bit. These were planted last year. I did take half the fruit off. Probably should have took it all off, but I got lazy. Here's another one. Doing pretty good. This one's looking pretty sickly. I did give it some iron. Not quite sure what's wrong with it. Looks like it might be snapping out of it. And this one too, not looking all the greatest. These two were the smallest of the 4 that I got. The 2 bigger ones are doing nicely. I think that's the trick with blueberries, is get big, high quality stock, and I don't think you really regret it. These are some grapes. These are a seeded variety. Not quite sure. They were planted quite a while ago. These are my father-in-law's. But they look pretty loaded. I don't really do anything to these. They just kind of go. Maybe next year I'll prune them and get them looking nice.